Plus, they'll never grow old, gone before their looks faded. But now, amazing artistry can fill in the years, picking up where time left off.
You're going to start seeing that jawline soften up a little bit.
Watch them age before your eyes. For heartbroken parents like these, it's a chance to see the unimaginable, the toddler they lost, all grown up.
Wow.
Wow. It's making you emotional.
A glimpse into the future that wasn't to be. 2020 begins in 60 seconds.
I know this sounds impossible, but you're about to watch a little boy grow up and celebrities growing old after they have died. It can actually happen with the help of a modern-day time machine. Travel now with Juju Chang forward through the years to see what might have been.
Or help you at the automat. Men grow cold as girls grow old, and we all lose our charms in the end.
Marilyn Monroe never lost her charms because she never did grow old. This classic movie moment has become part of our collective memory, and Marilyn remains frozen in time, forever young and beautiful. But what if she and other legendary icons like James Dean, Princess Diana, or John F. Kennedy Jr. had lived out their full lives? How would they have aged?
This would be a picture of Marilyn Monroe at age 36.
We will never know for sure, but artist Michael Streed can give us a good idea of something that, until now, has been left to the imagination. We asked Streed to try out the sophisticated computer techniques of age progression on these ageless celebrities.
At age 55, the eyes are starting to develop some fatty deposits. And what happens is you lose the elasticity in the muscles. There's going to be sag.
Which means the chin and lips lose their definition. Years of smiling and squinting leave their mark. And gravity takes its toll. If Marilyn were alive today, she'd be 75. Without the benefit of plastic surgery, Streed thinks Marilyn Monroe would look something like this. A car crash killed James Dean at 24, but here he is as a 70-year-old man. Princess Diana died at 36. Here's how she might have looked well into her 50s. John F. Kennedy Jr. died at 39. What would his 50s have looked like? When doing age progression, Streed takes into account family history, personality, even lifestyle.
He took good care of himself, but he was an outdoorsy person. So you're going to have that more masculine, rugged type of aging, where you get the character lines around the eyes, that little rough textured skin that you get when you're outdoors typically a lot.
Age progression can give us an intriguing glimpse of what might have been. This highly specialized technique, a blend of art and computer science, was originally born out of a desperate need. It was created in the early 90s for the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children to age pictures of kids who'd been missing for years. 300 such cases have since been resolved. As an accomplished artist, Michael Streed was one of the first to be trained by the center in this technique. But Streed is not just an artist, he's also a cop. During his 20-year career with the Orange Police Department, he used his artist's pencil to sketch suspects, catching rapists and solving murders. He even unraveled a 17-year-old kidnapping mystery by using 2 bare skulls and his knowledge of forensics to sketch the victims' faces.
A true public servant, Michael Streed has always believed in the notion of helping people in need. And now age progression technology gives him a new way to do just that. Families from around the country who were touched by tragedy seek him out with a highly unusual request.
Tony and Sheila Olivieri tracked him down and asked him to age their beloved 3-year-old son. Stephen is not missing. He died 14 years ago when a routine surgery ended in tragedy.
When he died, a piece of me died. And for the longest time, I was afraid I would never be the way I was when he was alive.
Tony and Sheila say it took years for them to learn to live with their grief. It might strike some as odd to want to see an older image of your dead child, but the Olivieris say they have an enduring curiosity for what might have been.
So why do this? Why stir up the pot?
because there's a need to know what that child would look like. He hadn't even gotten to nursery school. So it's just some sort of consolation.
The first step in the process is to get old family photos of Stephen, plus recent pictures of the now fully grown older brothers, and finally, high school photos of Tony and Sheila. Streed carefully studies their faces.
I'm seeing a common characteristic of a high forehead.
Streed then looks for clues to the child's personality.
Whereas Stephen, there was just something about him. You definitely could see a twinkle in his eye.
So how do you age a twinkle in someone's eye?
By painting in a little bit of the eye and opening
Streed
it up more.
airbrushes around them, painting deeper eyelids, adding character lines underneath. But in creating an older Stephen, he also borrows other features from his vast database of photos.
This 18-year-old has a nose similar to Stephen's nose at a younger age. This mouth is good, but I may need to tweak it and maybe make the teeth a little bit bigger.
And finally, there are basic principles of forensics and aging that guide his work.
Their cranium and their upper third of their face is fairly well developed at an early age. And so all the growth is going on in the lower two-thirds of the face. The eyes essentially stay the same because the eyes are almost fully grown at birth.
But you never mess with the eyes.
No, we don't. No, because the eyes, they say the eyes are the windows to people's souls.
And that is what Michael's trying to capture, the very essence of a person. He anguishes over every image. He says it's an awful way to make a living.
In terms of the emotional toll it takes on you. I mean, because you're surrounded by death constantly. So you have to really steel yourself. You know, you have to say, you know, why am I really doing this? For me, I mean, I want to be able to make a difference. I mean, that's why I'm a cop.
After 20 hours of eye-straining labor, Michael Streed transforms 3-year-old Stephen Olivieri into an 18-year-old high school senior. We delivered the aged photo to the Olivieris, who were waiting with nervous anticipation.
You want to look at it first?
It's a different book. Look. Wow.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Any emotions running through right now?
There's so many of them. So many of them. Before he left for the hospital, he was acting like a real, you know, and I pulled him up by his ears because he was really testing my patience.
When confronted with this photo of a grown son he never got to know, the image rekindles the guilt Tony still feels after all these years, that the last words he spoke to his 3-year-old son were in anger.
I guess I never really forgave myself for pulling his ears. All these years.
Does it expand in some ways, the grief, the emptiness?
Oh, no, no.
Does it?
I just feel sorry for the girl who never had him, who he'll never meet, and she'll never know.
Do you think it captures his spirit? Do you think it?
Yes. I can't keep my eyes off it. I really can't. It's like, it's amazing. It's, wow. I mean, the eyes and the mouth, I mean, to me, are like, that's just saying Stephen is here.
Months later, the Olivieris say they have absolutely no regrets. They remain deeply grateful to Michael Streed, whose artwork helped make their family feel more complete.
There was a lot of love that went into this because you could see that it was done with a lot of respect and caring. There's just a lot of good vibes I'm getting from this picture.
What might have been. We'll be right back.